We are joined now by Andrew Giuliani, who is heading up the World Cup on behalf of the Trump administration. I'm sure there is an official title he can fill us in with. We played many of the audio cuts from earlier today where President Trump announced the Kennedy Center will host the group stage draw on December 5th, and we'll get into that in a sec. But President Trump said he's got a great sense of humor, as you well know, that he looks great in shorts. Andrew, you have known the president for a very long time. Your dad, Rudy, has known him forever. Have you ever seen President Trump in shorts in your life?
You know, that's the hardest question I've got all day, and I didn't think it would be from the Clay and Buck show right there. So
yeah, there you go, right off the top.
Amendment on this one. I just seem to not recall. I don't recall. We'll put it that way.
All right, let's dive. We'll get into the World Cup in a minute, but President Trump also said that he wanted to basically give a shout out to your dad and how much he had been right about and how unfairly he was treated for having President Trump's back. So we're going to get into the World Cup in a minute. But how is your dad doing, and what does hearing that from the president mean to him?
Oh, it means a ton. And obviously, look, the president and my father and so many other people that fought for justice, that stood by Donald Trump, that stood by this MAGA movement, really took one on the chin for 4 years. So to see the resilience of Donald J. Trump, to see the resilience of Rudy Giuliani, as you know, we say words all the time, and we put up quotes and we read passages from those that are wiser than us. But to actually see it in the flesh, to see what resilience actually is for 4 years, I can tell you, I learned, my daughter learned, and I hope the United States of America learned a lot. And I think the one way that I describe it with Donald Trump, if you want to know about him, take everything else and take a 30-second point in his life. When he came a millimeter away from losing his life, his instinct was to get up and tell the world that they were ready to fight, fight, fight. That's Donald J. Trump. And frankly, as a son, I can tell you that's Rudy Giuliani as well.
That's powerful stuff. I was then going to ask about FIFA if I could for a second. Sorry, it's tough to follow that up. I think that's an incredibly important point though made about Donald Trump and the kind of man he is and his temperament and his character. But can I ask you, you were on the task force on the FIFA World Cup 2026. Trump was speaking about it today. Just, Andrew, I'm going to put this out there, okay? You were a goalie, if I recall, right? Weren't you a soccer goalie back in the day?
You'd be the only one that would know that there, Buck.
Uh-oh.
You do remember that. I actually thought
I do. I remember you playing goalie on my brother's sister. So Andrew and my little brother were on the same soccer team, Clay. And I remember.
Oh, wow. That is insider knowledge. Yes.
You didn't want to bring it into Andrew's house, let me tell you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, did those elbows fly a little bit in the keeper box? Maybe sometimes,
Absolutely. Well, under a Buck Sexton administration at St. David's, we had to make sure that we had the best athletes in there. I actually thought I was a decent goalie until I think we played against a kid who was on the, under 12 national team. And I stopped the first shot, and then I think he scored 4 straight goals, and I realized that maybe I should go take up golf. So that's what happened, I think.
Well, golf is a great game, too. But tell me this. Tell me everybody out there who is a little – whether they love soccer or not, and this is what we're trying to hammer home, how is this a showcase for America, a showcase for the Trump administration bringing business, and now he's talking about bringing safety into these cities so Americans and visitors from all over the world can enjoy an incredible sporting event in 2026 the way that it should be?
Yeah, a couple perspectives. And I think for Americans to really understand the scope of how large the World Cup is, we'll take the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl, about 130 million people watched the Super Bowl. I think that's about the number last year. The World Cup final last time around was 1.5 billion with an expected 2 billion just watching the final alone. It actually dwarfs the Super Bowl. But when you actually look at the fact that this is the largest sporting event in human history, this really is. It's the first time this is 48 teams. You've got 11 U.S. cities, 5 other cities in Mexico and Canada. And this is also happening over our 250th birthday. So just think about this. If the United States team can go on a run in the round of 16, they could end up playing in Philadelphia on July 4th on our 250th birthday. What this can do in terms of showing to the world what the United States of America actually is, There's no other sporting event that can even compete for the scope of this. And that's what I think Donald Trump understands better than anybody. As somebody who understands not just how media works, but obviously how to connect with people in a way that, certainly nobody in my lifetime has. He understands just how much of a platform this actually gives to the United States of America.
Today announced, and this is going to be a cool event. I'm looking at my calendar, so I think I've got this right. It'll be Friday, December 5th. For everybody out there that doesn't understand why this matters, they are going to be drawing, I believe, and announcing the group stage matchups. That's when you'll start to see, as you just laid out, all of the different dates for when the U.S. team will play other teams around the world. That's going to be taking place at the Kennedy Center. What will that look like for people out there who may not necessarily be huge sports fans, but are probably going to get caught up in maybe some of the excitement surrounding this?
Yeah, this will be like the NFL draft times 100, because think, these people that are excited that their teams have qualified, obviously Argentina, the defending champion, Brazil, France, all these great soccer nations, they'll then finally know that their team will start in New York, or will start in Houston, or maybe will start in San Francisco. And so what you'll end up seeing at that point is people from all around the world start to make their reservations, start to buy their tickets, start to really get through this process. And you'll see, really from a tourism perspective, incredible opportunities for American small businesses. And I think that's really where the president is focused on as well. It's not just an opportunity to showcase from a media perspective what the United States actually means, not just to other Americans, but to the rest of the world. It's a great opportunity to show off American small business and how we lead from the front. And really also the exciting thing too is this kicks off a decade of mega events. You're not just looking at the World Cup, but you're looking at the Olympics coming up in 2028. You're looking at maybe a Women's World Cup coming up in 2031. Other major events that are really kicking off under Donald Trump's leadership. So it's exciting. The draw really is the first part where people will really start going crazy about World Cup 2026.
Does Trump like soccer, Andrew? Do we have any real sense of this? He loves spectacle. He loves sport. We know that for sure. Is he a soccer guy? Because he says his son Barron, who's 6'9", so I would think basketball should be in his future, is a soccer player. What can you tell us about this? Give us a little inside baseball, if you will.
Well, I could tell you, yes, obviously, look, we're all trying to always in life make our parents or our kids proud. And so I think the fact that Barron is such a soccer fan really has major influence on the president. But I wasn't sure about that very question until I saw him at the final of the Club World Cup. And, sometimes the president, considering he's trying to end multiple wars, that he's working on tariff issues, that he's working on all kinds of different issues. D.C. trying to give the quality of life back to Washingtonians like we saw New Yorkers get their quality of life a few decades back. Sometimes he doesn't have time for an entire soccer game. Well, he actually sat through the entire soccer game and then gave out the trophy to Chelsea, the winning team. I think he does have a passion for soccer, but more than anything, guys, we know he's got a passion for great American events and really being able to show off the United States of America the way that it should be. You guys know on the left, media has, I think, told fantastic lies about what the United States of America actually is and what our first 250 years actually was. Well, the president actually wants to set the record straight on that, and the World Cup is a great opportunity to do that.
Andrew, it's something that we do here on the show. We're very dedicated to bringing frontline ground truth to this audience whenever we can. And so with that spirit, I think you just have to tell us which World Cup matches we're joining you at as the World Cup ambassador, and we'll do that research for our 550 affiliates and the podcast and everything else. That's the dedication we have to American sport.
Well, that is great dedication. If you guys keep asking me a question about President Trump in shorts, then I think we got to send you to the Iran games. I think that's where we're going to send you guys. So to be determined, guys. To be determined.
That's a fair point, Clay. I think which games we're going to with Andrew, you keep pushing him on this.
How many games do you think you will watch in person? This is like the greatest job out there, honestly. When you told me a while back you were going to be doing this, so that's kind of, sometimes you get like, they gave Kamala Harris the border, which didn't go very well. You got assigned, hey, let me make sure that the soccer tournament, the global phenomenon that is the World Cup, goes well. How many games do you think you'll actually go to?
No, it's fantastic, and I feel very blessed. And look, I ended up in the last Club World Cup going to all 11 stadiums multiple times because really,
wow.
I think, and the real focus of our task force more than anything else, and this is right from President Trump, is let's make these sites, let's make sure they're safe and secure. I'm not even worried about the people that are trying to come into the country illegally now, because DHS has done such a good job. Holman and Secretary Nolan have done such a good job at eliminating that number to almost zero. I'm worried about who's tried to come in over the last 4 years under Biden. So much of our mandate is making sure that these stadiums, that these fan fests are safe. Because, look, you go back to, let's say, the Olympics, Munich in 72 or Atlanta in 96, and you think about a security incident. I want to make sure that on July 20th next year, what people are talking about is something that happened on the field, some great play that happened on the field, a great goal that was scored. If that ends up happening, guys, then I know I've done my job. To take another football reference, it's kind of like a long snapper. If nobody talks about my performance in the game afterwards, it means we've done our job.
One last little bit. I want to circle back to something you told us. It is the possibility for those of us who are sports fans that you could have the U.S. men's soccer team playing on July 4th, also have a UFC fight on the lawn of the White House on the 250th anniversary of the United States. Sounded to me like July 4th, 2026 is potentially setting up as an all-time awesome day.
Oh, it is going to be an unbelievable day when you think about it. And I think the whole celebration of America's 250 years, there's going to be nothing like it. I've seen some of the plans, and there's more and more plans being added every single day on this. It's going to be so exciting to continue to see this, and I've had the opportunity to talk to Dana White about this, and I cannot wait. Just get your popcorn ready. We'll put it that way.
Just to be clear, Andrew, I didn't ask about Trump wearing shorts, so I get to go to the UFC fight. Just so we're clear on that one.
Yes.
I'll go to the Iran game. I'll do my research, make sure.
Yes, that's we're going to need, obviously, some of our best people at the Iran game, so we'll send you there. Very important.
Clay is ready. He's a team player. That's the one thing you can say about Clay. Andrew Giuliani, Executive Director for the White House Task Force on FIFA. Our friend Andrew, always good to talk to you, man. Let's talk to you again soon as this gets closer, okay?
Hey, guys, I'm not supposed to have this much fun at work, so, thank you guys for everything that you do, and I'm looking forward to chatting with you guys a bunch here over the next 292 days.
Absolutely, our friend. We'll talk to you. Look, tonight, guess what I'm doing? Having steak. In fact, I've already picked them out. They're thawing in the fridge right now, and they're from Good Ranchers. Carrie's dad's going to be here. I'm doing a steak night. I am going to be busting out that cast iron. I'm going to be searing some absolutely juicy, delicious, flavorful Good Ranchers steaks. And, you got a Labor Day weekend coming up. That is a great weekend to plan your steak night right now. And you can get Good Ranchers to send you a box of fantastic meat, but also chicken nuggets, pork, fish. They got great stuff. No antibiotics, no hormones, no seed oil. This is the kind of food you want to serve your family. I know because I'm serving it to my family tonight. The founders of Good Ranchers, husband and wife, started this business because they wanted to feed their 4 kids only this level quality of American beef, chicken, and pork. And so they've made that same level of meat, of produce available to you. Clay and I are both Good Rancher subscribers, so we get a Good Rancher shipment every month. So when you get your own subscription, you get $25 off each month. You can also get free shipping and a free gift in every order for life. Choose from their bacon, their seed oil-free and gluten-free chicken nuggets, my favorite chicken nuggets of all time, or even Wagyu burgers. Go to goodranchers.com. Use my name, Buck, as your promo code. Get a one-time $40 discount plus the $25 ongoing discount in future months, plus free meat for life every month. So one more time, guys, get this set up. Get it now so you got them ready for that grill for the Labor Day weekend coming up. And then you'll get it delivered every month. Go to goodranchers.com and use promo code BUCK.